I'm going to recap the 1 seed Houston men's basketball game win over 1 seed Duke, 70-67 up. But I will say, yeah, Houston came back to win, but I think Duke did an all-time choke job. I'm just being real because they had no business losing that game when they led the majority of the game. You cannot deny that. And literally the last, and I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And literally the last shot made by Duke in this game was with 3:03 left. So, and prior to that, it was like 10:31 left in the game. Yeah, everything else was free throws. So in the first, and we all know that Duke was favored in this game by 4.5. Clearly, they did not cover. So in the first half, Duke was up 34-28. They were even up as many as 14 points. 14. But Houston climbed back into it, as we all know. 42 points the second half by Houston, 33 points by Duke in the second half. But there's obviously more to the game than that. And that's why I am going to go over the last minute of the game, because it was some chaos down the stretch. And the stats, of course. Of course. So around 114, of course, Joseph Tugler touched the ball when Duke was trying to inbound the ball. You can't do that. That's a tech. And Colin Knipple went to the line and made the free throw to make it 67-61. And Colin Knipple missed a layup around 47 seconds left, which was blocked by Joseph Tugler. And Emmanuel Sharp got defensive board around 42 seconds left. And Emmanuel Sharp made a three around 33 seconds left, assisted by Milos Uzan. And Houston did call timeout. And Zion James turned the ball over around 30 seconds left. Malik Wilson got the steal, and Malik Wilson tried to attempt a three, missed it, but Joseph Tugler got the offensive board and made a tip-in to make 67-66. And the foul was called on Malik Wilson. And Tyrese Proctor went to the line and missed the first free throw. The only one. It was a 1-and-1. And then a 50-50 call was a foul on Cooper Flagg. Yeah, I mean, you can't deny that. To me, it was more like one of those playoff situations, but whatever. And we all know Duke does get benefit of calls sometimes, so it all evens out. Anyway, and Jerron Roberts, who's not a great free throw shooter when you look at his numbers this year, actually made the first free throw, then the second one to give Houston a 68-67 lead. And Duke did call timeout around 17 seconds left. And Cooper Flagg missed a jumper around 8 seconds left. Malik Wilson got the defensive board. Or at around 4 seconds left, and Tyrese Proctor fouled around 3 seconds left. And O.J. Cryer made both free throws. And Duke tried to get the ball in. And they couldn't, they got it inbounded, but the time ran out on them. And you know what's crazy is Duke actually shot better from the field than Houston in this game. 39.6% on 53 attempts, 41.2% on threes on 17 attempts, 78.3% on free throws on 23 attempts. I can't say make every free throw you win the game, but make a few more shots, get more stops on defense, you win the game. Just saying. 31 rebounds, 10 offensive, 14 assists, 7 steals, 4 blocks, 7 turnovers, which they only had 2 turnovers in the first half. Yeah, they turned the ball over more in the second half. 16 fouls, 4 points off the bench, 2 double-digit scores combined for 43 points. 27 plus 16. And 3 other players score 6 or more points in this game combined for 7 plus 7. That's 14 plus 6. That's 20. And Houston did have only 6 bench points. 3 double-digit scores combined for. Okay. 11 plus 16, that's 27 plus 26, that's 53 points. Right there, and one player scored 6 or more points in this game, had 7. And Houston didn't shoot the ball as good as Duke actually 37.7%, but that's on 61 shots. 45.5% on threes on 22 attempts. Yeah, 10 makes. So Duke did let up a few more threes than they should have, and especially at the end of the first half. So that really caught up to them, and 77.8% on free throws on 18 attempts, 42 rebounds, 18 offensive. And you know, when you look at the previous games for Duke, they get up more offensive rebounds, and they still got away with it. Not this time. 10 assists, 6 steals, 6 blocks, 9 turns, 16 fouls. I'm going to just double check real fast on Jerron Roberts' free throw shooting percentage. Then I'll go to points out turnovers, points in the paint, and fast break points as well. Yeah, this, like for the game, he was like 75%, but overall this year, 63%. So not a great free throw shooter, but yet he made them count. And that's what you need to do in these type of games. Points out turnovers actually favored Duke 12 to 8, and fast break points was nothing to nothing, according to ESPN. And points in the paint actually favored Duke 24 to 20. So Duke finished the year at 35-4, while Houston is 35-4. We're going to play one seed Florida next. And I'll say this to Houston: if you play that game not 8 times out of 10, you'll lose. You can't play like that against Florida. In my opinion, Florida is more accustomed to closer games than Duke is. Look at the games for Duke in all this. Now, Duke, how many players you're going to lose? As we all know, Colin Knueppel is going to go to the NBA draft. Of course, Cooper Flagg, he's the number 1 pick, for crying out loud. And Malak Coleman is going to go to the draft. Possibly Isaiah Evans. Possibly to the draft. And this is pending transfer portal as well. So you're definitely losing 1, 2, 3 for 3 players for sure. It's more like Isaiah Evans. I think he's going to go, but we'll see on the declaration for the NBA draft. And you do lose Zion James and missing Gillis. But when you look at the other seniors, like, and all this, like Stanley Bogdan, yeah, that's Neil Begovic, Spencer Hubbard, and Cameron Sheffield. They're not big losses, but still, that you do lose some NBA draft picks. But as we all know, Duke does recruit at a high level. And they already got 4 players for next year's draft, but they have to address that in the transfer portal. And Duke is still not made to the national title game since 2015. While Houston, on the other hand, this is their first national title game since 1984. And can they win their first national championship? We'll have to wait and see. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe, and see you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Score's ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So remind this course, like video, comment video, it really helps YouTube algorithm. So more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button for the notification bell as well.